We're walking in Cromford today. Might be a mention of Florence Nightingale. Might be a mention of some mill owners. But we're starting with a coffee because it's wet out there. I think we're going to get wet.
I think we might do. And that's not because of the canals that we're on. It's not a nice day out there. But hey ho.
I like walking when it's like this.
Well, we're starting this one at Cromford Wharf. Just opposite Cromford Mill, which Arkwrights started in 1771, and that was the start of the Industrial Revolution when the first cotton mill. Tell you a bit more about the canal system around here as we go around. So this is the outside of Cromford Mill, Arkwrights cotton mill.
So this is the worst bit of the walk really, because we have to cross some busy roads, the A6.
The A6, my favourite road. Not.
But we couldn't resist showing you this cafe. Is it yours, Tor? You never told us you ran a cafe. Yes, the A6 isn't our favourite road.
I used to have to go along the A6 to meet Darryl when he was still up in Stockport. Full of potholes, busy, not the nicest of little A roads really.
We are about to walk into a nice village. Cromford is a lovely little village.
So the village of Cromford was developed by the Arkwrights, the father and son, to house the mill workers. So that was in the late 1700s, the 1770s. The church, the school was built by Arkwright Jr. In the 1800s, beginning of the 1800s. So a lot of development gone on round here as the mill has grown. Nice old van. Car really, isn't it? Looks like it's a Rover. That badge at the back, I don't know. Again, mill workers' cottages. And a bit of new development by the look of it on this side. It's a junction of main roads, isn't it?
Very, I think it is a crossroads, isn't it, for getting into Derbyshire.
Yeah.
Derby in one direction, Manchester in the other.
Yeah. And then I suppose that's one reason it was placed there. Apart from
the canal, it was to transport the goods from here into the cities as well, so or certainly into Manchester.
Well, this byway. Yeah.
Come on, this way.
So, leaving the busy road behind us, and hopefully we'll be able
It's nice to see some newer builds that have been built traditional
traditional
style.
Yeah.
1992, that one says.
Yeah. That's something we don't see very often these days. A nice rose garden. Isn't it? You don't see roses so much
like
these
that.
days, don't you?
See the odd bushes, don't
Yeah.
you? Really?
And the old coal bunker.
Yeah.
I don't know whether you'd pick that up on but there's a sheep up there with a magpie on its back. It's just hopped down.
There's another one as well.
Oh, further on, yes.
That one's on its
It's
head.
on its head now. Must be some age, this building, because the coat of arms is weathered, isn't it?
It is. I actually thought it was quite a modern build till I saw that.
Not much of a view today.
In the distance, there's a hall.
Yeah.
I think. Not sure, we might come to that later on. It's a climb, this bit. But we will be walking along the canal later. That could be fun, because Bay and Nab haven't encountered a canal before, so we might have some fallings in.
One of you at a time. So the views aren't brilliant today. The mist on the cloud on the tops over there. It's looking down onto Cromford down there. Yeah. Perfect root cutter.
There's my M3 first tour.
Thank you. Go on.
We're doing it the awkward way, Bay.
There's always one.
And it's usually Bay.
Go on. Go on. Girl, boy. So we're not far from civilization, really, are we? And
on a clear day, it would be a very nice view. You can see the valley over that way. Almost a gorge, isn't it?
yeah, and that edge.
Yeah.
I don't know where that is. We won't see this on the video, but there's a. I don't know whether it's a pylon at the top of it or what. But,
I'm trying to work out, that wouldn't be matlock that way, would it? Giddy edge.
I suppose it could. Yeah, Matlock Bath that way, isn't it?
That could be Giddy Edge then. That's
Yeah.
A walk for the future when we're brave enough.
And coming back the other way again in the mist. a big quarry there.
I see no gorillas in the mist. Quite a mild day though.
Very mild. It's wet, but
Not cold.
it's not cold.
I think you'll be able to go off soon, dogs. It's a nice mixed walk this. As I say, we've got the canal later on, but we've got a bit of nice hill walking beforehand.
Hey. So Darrell's got his phone out. There's a geocache, as you probably expect, over there somewhere in those rocks.
Called Arkwright country.
Arkwright country. And there's a hint that says about 2 leaning rocks.
Yep.
And I can see rocks over there leaning together, so it might be
I think it might
over
be
there.
just there.
So is it counting down?
Yes, 37 feet.
It's certainly sheep country. Right. So Darrell's compass, they're alright, the phone apps. They're not as brilliant as a proper GPS. But Darrell's got 30 odd feet down there, but I found it.
Phones are slow, it's counting down now, but it's saying 4 feet here.
Yeah, it's still counting down, Darrell says, but I found it. The hints said about leaning stones, so cache his eye, and here we go, under there somewhere. That's another cache we've got. We don't do too many, do we, nowadays? We used to do an awful lot. We just, as we're out on our walks, really, isn't it?
Yeah, and it is more out of the way cache now, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
I suppose we used to, when I wasn't walking, we used to do something called drive-bys, where you just jump out of a car, get it.
And that was usually me.
It was usually you, yeah, because I stayed in the car. I think I might have seen another doer-upper for us. I don't know. I don't want to get close to that. I don't think we do.
No, up in the hillside there, just in the tree line, there's a hexagonal building there. So we just come over the top, and I think the rest of the walk is just drop back down into the valley, pick up the canal, isn't it? Something like that.
Yeah.
What do you say?
How are they going to work it out? Oh, do you need me to show you? The old ones are over.
So you are.
Well, then. So a bit of a woodland as well. Ooh, a wee bit of everything. Well, we've never watched Game of Thrones, but when we were researching maybe going to Northern Ireland, there was one place that was filmed on Game of Thrones with trees over. You've probably seen it, a lot of you, and this just reminds me of that. Some ace to these, isn't there?
There is. Pretty tall.
Steep up there as well. This way. We always like to get them to run up a hill. But they're learning, unfortunately. Just walking through this woodland. Another old stone wall there with a gate. Gate posts. Looks like it's not been used in a long time though. Might just have to go and have a quick nosy though to see what we can see. But where you're going might be an edge. I don't think anything's come through here for quite a while though. You?
Not really, no. So, the gate to nowhere.
I don't think we'll go much further, is it? That's about as far as we can get, I think, easily. But you've got to have a look when you're here, haven't you? I think we'll head back on the route that we're supposed to. So we've just left that gate post. And I've got my phone out again, just to check. There's another geocache. Oh, we're coming up to an interesting structure. So I presume the cache is around there. So this is an old tunnel above a disused railway line, which is now the High Peak Trail. Sorry?
Above or under?
So what's this?
This is a tunnel under the High Peak Railway. The High Peak Railway is now a trail, isn't it?
Yes, cycling, walking.
It's a
trail.
19-mile stretch of railway that was completed only a few years after the Stockton-Darlington Railway. But it was to link the Cromford Canal with the Whaley Bridge canals, or the wharf there. It was obviously easier to take the stuff by train than it was by barge. And although I was reading earlier that although it closed in the 1960s, there's a couple of sections that are quite steep, so they've still got static, or still had static engines to pull the carriages up the hill.
Like on chains? Or?
Yeah, on chains, I assume, or winches. 2 sections, I think it was, that still required those back in the as late as the 1960s. So I think it shut in 1967, something like that.
Part of the beaching cuts, or
probably. That was about that time. So this is one of the tunnels under it, and we'll join it in a few minutes. We're struggling to find this geocache, but what we have found, some lovely mushrooms.
alright, struggling with this one.
We are. We started off down there. Seems to be leading up onto the trail. So this is the High Peak Trail, the abandoned railway. Which we're going to be following shortly. We'll just have a look round.
One more look.
I think I'm going to have to save this geocache for another day.
So close. 150 feet I've got. But...
Well, mine got down to a foot, but you're saying that some of the logs say the coordinates are out?
Are out, yeah.
So it could be anywhere,
Yeah.
to be fair.
Go off, be careful.
Bay, this way, girl. It's quite a drop if you'd have gone over there. Thankfully she's a bit sure-footed, so, or sure-pawed. So, no?
Possibly. I've got 3. Careful. I've got 3 feet now, but there might be another track down there, but we'd have to go round, I think. I don't think it's going to be a... So I've got 4 feet now.
Yeah.
I can't see anything there, but...
No.
No, I think this is a... I don't think you're going to help find it either now, to be honest. I think this is a no.
Yeah, we'll give this one a miss. For another day.
Go on, see. Bring the bikes on at some point, I think.
Although this looks a steep bit.
We haven't got electric bikes.
Not at the moment. Not that we'll ever get electric bikes.
See how straight it was? There's a railway. As you say, the inclines are quite steep, aren't they, on
Yes.
parts?
Yeah. You imagine these early trains needing static engines to pull them.
Yeah. We've certainly reached a steep incline now.
I've just been reading that there's 8 inclines on the railway with stationary engines, steam engines, to haul the trucks up. So,
Looking at the rocks, they must have really had to blast to get... I don't think you're going to really pick this up on the camera, but just up there's a massive piece, isn't there? Let's see how big that is. Oh yeah, there's a clearer view of it. It's there. So they must have had to blast through some pieces here.
yeah.
You can see how tall these pieces are. I mean, going up. That's me. Quite a bit above me. That looks fairly modern compared to some other stuff.
This is where one of the engine houses was. Pulled the trucks up on a chain, and then they were connected to another chain to take it up, because the chains, the incline was too long for a single chain. But it says when, where are we? In the 1850s, wire rope became available, and they could do it all in one go. So, modern technology back in the day.
Back in the day. So the engine house is behind this fence?
Yeah, so that's what it says. So that looks a bit like the hexagonal building we saw from another angle.
Yeah, up on the hill.
Middleton top winding engine.
One of the world's first long-distance railways. Connected the northwest with the East Midlands. Lovely place for a bus stop though.
Oh, that's the station, isn't it? The train. A nice little bothy though, isn't it?
Yeah, perfect, wouldn't it?
A fire going in that grate and...
Don't think we can see the grate anyway on the camera.
Oh, no.
But we do have the means. It looks like someone's tried to have a fire in there.
Yeah. Or laid it ready for somebody else to.
Well, if we'd have brought a flask, we could have had a coffee. We carry on with the walk. The engine house was demolished in 1861. And it was no longer required.
And that was when the rope wire came into use, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Or wire rope, rather.
We're not getting too wet because of the tree cover, but it sounds like it's getting heavier. Coming out of the trees now. Heading down. And there's the A6 again. I think we're sorted for Christmas. There's a Christmas tree there for us somewhere.
That's a bit wrong, didn't we? Because we're reading as we're going along. It's the High Peak Trail that's 19 miles long. The actual railway up to Whaley Bridge was actually 33 miles long. So that's where it becomes one of the longest railways in
England,
wasn't it? Something like that.
So reading further.
Yeah, we've just come down a 1 in 7, so that's quite a steep incline. And just down here, you can just see it coming into view. It was a catch pit, which is where any runaway wagons were caught. I'd imagine 1 or 2 accidents happened.
I'm sure they did. No, we're not going to sing.
What?
The runaway train ran down.
Oh.
I said I'm not going to sing. Oh, here we go, there's something about the catch pit here. The runaway wagons sometimes occurred on the inclines, and on this slope they could reach up to 120 miles per hour. In 1888 there was a spectacular accident here involving a brake van carrying gunpowder. 2 years later this catch pit was built so to prevent a serious accident at the workshops or main line below. We can have a look inside the pit. So we'll go down there now. But here's a photograph of one of the accidents. I don't know how clearly you'll see that. Let's go and have a look. Nab, can you not read what it says? It says view from here, don't go over the barrier. Again, I don't know how clearly you're going to see this. Might have to get a light on from a phone.
Brilliant.
You can see why they're needed though.
Yes. Yeah.
It's quite a speed, isn't it? When you think the modern trains going up full tilt go at that kind of speed, don't they?
They do, 120.
Yeah. There's a catch pit from a different angle. We're just walking above it now. It's just down there.
Fortunately, we don't have to cross the A6 again. They've built a bridge for us, or a tunnel for us. And this takes us down into the High Peak Junction.
Okay. Which is?
Well, I think it's the terminus of the railway and the canal system, or part of the canal system, which is where the two meet.
It made it very decorative for us as well. I'd like to catch your eye on one though, pretty sharp. Not much when I go down.
Presumably it's some signalling semaphore system, I don't know what.
No explanation on it.
No.
Water tower.
Presumably that's part of the old winding system.
There's a water tower. Oh, look what they've found.
She likes the running water, dripping water.
Yes, that. Oh, look, we can play Casey Jones.
This way. Well.
You can't go in, it's locked.
That's a shame.
There's a sign there, I don't think you'll be able to see that, and it says situation is vacant, we are hiring, and this must be the top jobs, stable lad, lengthman and fireman. Well, we know what a fireman was, we know what a stable lad was. I suppose a lengthman's something to do with the chains, so can't read it from here.
Are you handy at fixing things? So perhaps it was, I don't know.
Fixing the chains, maybe.
Yeah.
We didn't do a lot of reading about this walk. It was just one we decided to do because it was so wet. But, and we didn't expect to find any of this, did we, really?
No.
So it's good. You never know what you're going to find with us.
And we've got to get dropped onto the canal yet, haven't we?
Right.
So.
We can't make another long video. These were the railway workshops, and they date from around 1826. And there is a coffee shop there, but we're not stopping. We're going to carry on with the walk.